Coronation Street actress Tina O'Brien has opened up about whether Sarah Platt could eventually face life behind bars after the shocking revelation that she was responsible for Theo Silverton's death. The truth was finally revealed to viewers during a tense dinner party held by Sarah and her boyfriend Kit, where Gary, Maria, Todd, and Summer were all invited. As tensions rose throughout the evening, Maria accused Sarah and Gary of having a secret affair. Although Sarah and Gary couldn't explain the real reason behind their suspicious behavior, viewers soon discovered that Sarah had caused Theo's death and later turned to Gary for help, covering up what had happened. Theo's body was originally discovered in April by a devastated Betsy on the night of Lisa and Carla's wedding, setting off one of the biggest mystery storylines of the year. The murder plot had first been teased months earlier through flash-forward scenes shown in February, where Betsy was seen giving a police statement after finding the body of someone she knew. A week after the wedding episodes aired, the victim was officially identified as Theo, who had tried to torment Todd one final time before his fatal encounter. His death launched a major murder investigation, with Todd, Summer, Gary, George, Christina, and Danielle all falling under police suspicion. In June, viewers finally learned exactly what happened that night as flashback scenes confirmed Sarah was responsible. Soon afterward, Sarah confessed everything to Todd, while Kit remained convinced that Gary was the one hiding the truth. New spoilers suggest Sarah's secret may not stay hidden for much longer. After noticing Gary and Maria arguing in the street, Kit tells Lisa that he believes their behavior is suspicious, but Lisa reminds him that he has already been removed from the investigation. At the same time, Maria admits to Sarah that her marriage is falling apart. The conversation leaves Sarah overwhelmed with guilt, but Gary urges her to remain silent, warning that any confession could send him to prison. Later, Sarah returns home to find Kit has prepared a romantic lunch before surprising her by getting down on one knee and asking her to marry him. As the storyline continues, Kit warns Sarah that Gary's mobile phone could decide her future and tells her they must erase anything that could link her to Theo's death. Gary appears willing to hand over the phone, but Kit secretly contacts the technician responsible for deleting the data and asks for any recovered information to be forwarded directly to his personal email. Elsewhere, DC McLaughlin informs Lisa that the investigation has reached a crucial stage and that officers are ready to arrest Theo's killer. Speaking about the dramatic storyline, Tina said she has been overwhelmed by viewers' reactions. She explained that many fans have approached her in public, saying they were genuinely stunned by the reveal. While some guessed Sarah was responsible, many others were completely caught off guard, and she was delighted that audiences enjoyed the explosive dinner party scenes. When asked how Sarah would cope if she ended up in prison, Tina admitted she would be extremely concerned for the character. She believes Sarah could easily become vulnerable among hardened inmates, especially if fellow prisoners discovered that her partner works as a police officer. A Coronation Street star has teased what viewers can expect from Betsy Swain's emotional upcoming storyline after new spoilers confirmed the teenager will be rushed to hospital. Episodes airing next week reveal that Betsy's condition suddenly becomes critical, leaving her loved ones fearing the worst. As panic spreads, suspicion quickly falls on her boyfriend, Dylan Wilson. Fans will remember that Betsy recently found herself overwhelmed by memories of her late boyfriend, Mason Radcliffe. Wanting to move forward with her life, she later revealed to her close friend Lauren that she had been accepted into a fashion college in London. Betsy eventually shared the exciting news with Dylan, who encouraged her to tell both her mom, Lisa, and her stepmother, Carla, about her plans. When Betsy finally announced her decision, Carla was thrilled by the opportunity, while Lisa struggled to hide her concerns about her daughter moving so far away. However, it seems Betsy's dream of leaving Weatherfield may be delayed by a devastating medical emergency. At the beginning of next week's episodes, Betsy unsuccessfully attempts to cook breakfast for Dylan before asking him to teach her a few cooking skills. Dylan begins showing her how to prepare spaghetti bolognese and reassures her that their relationship can survive the distance once she moves away. His comforting words leave Betsy smiling as the pair share a heartfelt hug. Moments later, everything takes a terrifying turn when an ambulance races away from number 6 with its sirens blaring. At the hospital, Ryan explains to Carla that he arrived home to find Betsy lying unconscious on the kitchen floor. While Lisa anxiously waits beside her daughter, a nurse informs her that Betsy is being taken for an MRI scan to determine what caused her sudden collapse. Shortly afterward, Dylan visits Betsy, but he quickly rushes out of her hospital room in panic after witnessing what appears to be a seizure. Lisa and Carla can only watch helplessly as doctors work urgently to stabilize Betsy's condition. As the week continues, Betsy pleads with Lisa not to hold Dylan responsible for what happened. Meanwhile, Sean suggests that he and Dylan visit Betsy together, but Dylan abruptly refuses, leaving Sean wondering if something is being hidden. Tensions rise again when Lisa confronts Dylan in the cafe, angrily accusing him of being responsible for Betsy's collapse. Before long, Lisa heads to the police station and tells the desk sergeant that she wants to report a crime. Following the release of the spoilers, Coronation Street viewers have been busy sharing theories online about what may have caused Betsy's frightening medical crisis. Sydney Martin's performance in the emotional storyline has already received praise from one of her fellow cast members. Kate Fitton, who plays Lauren, shared a preview image on Instagram showing Betsy surrounded by Ryan, Lisa, and Carla as they stand by her side during the heartbreaking hospital scenes. Tonight's episode of Coronation Street brings fresh drama as Carl finds himself clashing with Idris, while relationships are tested across Weatherfield. Following Alfie's recent health scare, he is finally ready to leave hospital. Until the dangerous mold problem in their flat has been dealt with, Abby and Alfie will move back into Kevin's home. Abby soon comes face-to-face with Idris once again. Although he insists repairs are being carried out as quickly as possible, Abby refuses to accept his explanation and warns that she is prepared to take legal action. Carl also confronts Idris over the situation, making it clear that he isn't impressed with how everything has been handled. As tempers flare between the two men, Kit is forced to step in before the argument gets completely out of control. Their explosive confrontation could mark the beginning of a bitter new rivalry. Idris's troubles are far from over. He soon begins to regret involving Brody in his illegal activities after learning a shocking piece of information. When Idris discovers that Brody's father is Police Detective Kit, he immediately realizes the situation has become far more dangerous than he expected. Elsewhere, Steve remains hopeful that he and Cassie can repair their relationship after rejecting her marriage proposal. Even though Tracy continues mocking him, Steve believes there is still a chance to save their romance. Cassie later heads to the Chariot Square Hotel, where she asks Ryan to start a drinks tab before taking advantage of a 2-for-1 cocktail promotion. After spotting newcomer Ross nearby, Cassie fails to recognize him from years ago and makes a move on him. She has no idea that Ross is Tyrone's biological father and is about to make his arrival on the street. Meanwhile, Glenda becomes increasingly suspicious about Christina's secretive behavior and decides to search through her handbag for answers. Instead of finding evidence of an affair with George, Glenda uncovers several unusual credit card statements, raising even more questions about what Christina is hiding. At the Rovers, Susie earns plenty of praise after becoming the first person to make Will smile again, giving everyone a glimmer of hope. However, the happier mood quickly disappears when Will later heads out for a run, but becomes overwhelmed by painful memories of Megan, making it clear that his grief is still far from over.